What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is going to be Claw season 3, episode 1. Um, okay, so something funny happened today. They done found me at work. So if any of my work folk are watching the video, hi y'all. But anyway, so we started the season off where we left off last season with Desna holding Virginia. She had been shot. We weren't sure how bad she was shot or exactly where she was shot. And come to find out, she was sort of shot in her temple and it affected her cornea. She gets a cornea implant from like a spiritual enlightened type person. So it's interesting. We'll get to that part where when Virginia wakes up and everything. So um but in the meantime, Desmond's trying to figure out who the hell is trying to kill her. Clearly, they weren't trying to shoot Virginia. They were trying to shoot her. And, you get to a point where you have so many damn enemies, you don't know who's trying to come after you. So they don't know if it's somebody from the Russians, the Haitians, Uncle Daddy. They don't know who it is. And so Rolla is going to try to figure it out while Desna, is at the hospital waiting to see what's going to happen with Virginia. We found out that Desna, where we left off was that Desna found out she was part owner of a casino. And these are going to be the villains of this season. Each season we got a villain. First season it was her and Uncle Daddy. Then last season it was the Russians and the Haitians. So this season, these are going to be your villains, the owners of this casino. And it's a native, it's a guy, I done dropped my paper where I wrote their names down. Oh man. Mac and what's their name? Dang, I done dropped the paper. Oh well. Anyway, what is it? Mac and Mindy? Anyway, their names. But he's Native American because down in Florida, you have to, in order to own a casino, you have to be native. So, he's the native part of it. And so they try to buy Desna out. Of course, they know who Desna is and all that good stuff. And they try to buy Desna out. They bring her a little $50,000 check. Now, I know that Florida ain't Vegas. But I am pretty certain that half of a casino is worth way more than $50,000. I mean, even a bad casino is got to be worth more than $50,000. And I'm thinking to myself, Desna, you got to know better. And at first she was like, oh, this is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And I'm thinking, no, it's not. Not for a casino. Like if they owned a dealership or something, but a casino always makes money. You know what I mean? Like you don't run out no money. You don't run out of money on a casino. But and of course they're trying to play all nice and hugging on her and water flowers and all that other stuff. And Desmond smell it in the water. She's like, okay, something here don't make sense. Something here ain't right. And so she tells them, thanks for coming to see me, but I got some other things I got to deal with. I'll be talking to y'all later. And that gives her some time to think. Now she did take the check. Um, so then what we find out, Jen moved to the suburbs, honey. She's hating it. And she's looking for any excuse to get back. So of course, as soon as she finds out about Virginia, Desmond tells her not to come because again, they don't know where the danger is. But Jen, that's all she needed to hear because she ready to get out of there anyway, honey. They around some real conservative Trumpers. Told her nails were too urban. So, she was like, excuse me? Because Jen already thinks she's black, honey. So um Roller is out trying to figure out who did it. He said it ain't the Russians, it's not the Haitians. He rolls up on Uncle Daddy. Uncle Daddy was like, it's not me. Like what makes you think it's me? But then remember the cousin, Clint. And then Clint, see, I wrote my notes down. I don't know where my paper went. But I believe it was Clint, he still hates Roller. He still got a problem with Desna because he blames Desna for the pill mill shutting down. And so Uncle Daddy goes and tells Roller, look, it was Clint. Clint was the one that did it. Because he has a conversation with Clint, and Clint, Clint doesn't say he didn't do it, but it alludes to the fact that he did do it. Polly, then, remember at the end of last season, Polly checked herself into a mental hospital. So she's in the hospital, and she goes to try to sneak out the hospital when she finds out about Virginia, honey. She done put this whole plan in place. She done tied the sheets together to go out the window. She get halfway down, and the sheets not long enough to get her to the floor, to the ground. So she is just dangling. And the nurse comes out there and says, Polly, you were in a voluntary wing of the hospital if you want to leave. just walk out the door. It's hilarious. And then poor little Polly, her man, remember her little boyfriend, he is happy to see her and he wants to take her out, and Polly don't want no parts of it, honey. She's not trying to hear that. She don't want no parts of it. So this was just getting everybody caught up on whatever. So um oh shoot. The brother, Dean. Dean is upset. Of course, Dean is upset, right? And Dean feels like he has to protect Virginia. He done went and got a gun, and he is looking for the people who shot Virginia. And Desmond had to let him know, like, are you crazy? Like, you are a black man in Florida. Like, you can't be walking around with guns. Like, you just can't do that. And she talks him down off the ledge and talks him into bringing his butt back in the house, and like, we'll handle it, but that's my woman. I gotta protect my woman. And he has all the best intentions, but Desmond's like, if you don't sit your ass down because you about to get yourself shot up somewhere. So in the meantime, Roller then followed the casino owners, and they got their accountant with them. Well, at the time we didn't know it was the accountant. We just knew it was this black woman that they had. And they then took this woman into a little back room, like I think it's gonna be like a sweat tent. And they are back there torturing this woman. Come to find out later that she is their accountant, and she wanted more of a cut off of what she was doing for them, off of laundering the money, and they were torturing her so that she wouldn't basically want more money. And Roller then followed the woman. After they done beat her up, Roller got her in the car. She sees Roller, gets scared, and jumps out the car. Roller has her purse, goes by the house. She tries to shoot Roller. So then he takes Desna, and that's when they're able to sit down and really have a conversation. This episode was hilarious. It was a really good episode. But they sit down and have a conversation, and she says, look, they making that kind of money. The accountant's like, oh yeah, they rolling like a couple of $1,000,000 through that casino a month. She said, oh really? Oh, so this little $50,000 check ain't shit. She said, okay, this what we about to do. She said, we about to really get into the States. We not going to take this little $50,000 check. We bosses now. And I'm going to fully inherit my half of this casino, and I'm going to make it work to my advantage. Honey. So in the meantime, little Miss Virginia is all enlightened. And I mean, she's still talking like Virginia, but she's giving everybody this enlightened, you know, um, eh, um, um, 2 cents on everything. I mean, she's still, using, Beyonce metaphors and Ariana Grande euphemisms, but she's all calm and cool, and she's she got Dean all calm and everything, because of course she's got this cornea implant from this like she was a Reiki instructor and a spiritual, and healer and everything. Desmond got Kenneth to go talk to Dean, and Dean wasn't trying to hear. Dean was like, "Look, I hear you, brother, but I gotta protect my woman, and I gotta take care of what's mine." So even though he told Desmond what he wasn't gonna do, he was still gonna go after who shot Virginia, the people that he felt like shot Virginia. So everybody's at the hospital. Polly then walked out. Polly then left the hospital. Jen then came, even though they told her not to come. My girl Quiet Ann then came. They're all at the hospital now. Quiet Ann, um, FBI girlfriend, lurking around, and she tried to talk to Ann. Ann ain't paying her no attention. Now it's funny. People always want something until it don't want them. I mean, people don't want something until, you know what I'm saying, until it doesn't want them. Because when Ann was trying to get back with this woman and begging her and crying and everything, woman wasn't trying to hear nothing Ann had to say. Now Ann ain't paying her no attention. Now all of a sudden she interested and she getting offended when Ann doesn't want to talk to her, because Ann was paying her dust at the hospital. So next thing you know, we see Ann at the gym working out. Here come Miss FBI talking about, let's work it out, let's fight it out in the ring. And Ann whoops her ass. Whoops her tail. So they back in the locker room getting dressed, and they end up making up. And when Ann leaves out, and FBI think that mean that they back together, or they at least working towards getting back together. Ann was like, I just had an itch and you scratched it and I'm good. And kept it moving. I said, oh, see, that's what happens. You can push somebody, but so far. Push, push, push. You can only push them, but for so far. Um, so the other thing we see is, Uncle Daddy's boyfriend slash girlfriend, boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? Um, Rolo rose up on him and he was like, "Oh my gosh, you found out? Oh goodness, he made me do it. Clint made me get rid of all of the motorcycle gear. It was Clint that shot Desna, and he made me lie to him. He made me lie and tell him lie for him." So Rolo was like, "Oh, that's another reason why Rolo was like, oh, it's Clint." And so Desna is Clint. We're gonna have to take Clint out because he's the one that tried to kill you. And Desna was like, "Oh my goodness, like I'm really not. You know what I mean? Like." I'm really not trying to do this, but they do. So they end up killing Clint. Roller hit him with the car, and they take him down in the swamp and dump the body, honey. So they end up killing Clint, and they think that everything is all good and well. Desmond gets the girls together, and she's like, look, she tells them what the deal is with the casino. And she was like, look, are y'all in or not? Like, this little bitty Penny Annie we've been dealing with, she was like, now is our time. We're not going to be treated any old kind of way. We're not going to be, passed over, looked over, but we're going to be bosses. So they rolled, and they agreed to it. At first, they wasn't trying to do it, but they eventually agreed to it. And honey, they roll up in that casino like bosses. And they let the freaking frack know we're not going anywhere. We don't want your little $50,000. We know what kind of money y'all are bringing up in here, and we want our piece of the pie. And Desna let her demands be known, and they roll up out of there. So y'all know that that's about to be a fight because freaking frack ain't trying to give up none of that. And she gave them their little $50,000 check back, and she was like, "I thought we had a deal." And that's what I was saying when she took the check. She was like, "Oh no, 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 no. That's before I knew. But now I know. And you can have your little $50,000 back. I want my money. 50% owner, I want it." Then we see Uncle Daddy and the boyfriend, right? Uncle Daddy's laying on the bed, sleep. We see somebody walk in with the motorcycle gear on. I'm like, okay, this, and I knew then. I said, oh, I said they done set it up. He come in there, he put the gun on Uncle Daddy's head. Uncle Daddy wakes up. He's like, "Oh man." I ain't gonna get into the other stuff that went down. But come to find out, Uncle Daddy and the boyfriend then set Clint up. It was really the boyfriend that tried to shoot Desna. He said, "Because I don't like how she was treating you. And I'm sorry, I'm sorry that I went rogue, but I don't like how she was treating you. I had to protect you." And so Uncle Daddy didn't know that the boyfriend was gonna do it. But once the boyfriend did it, they had to switch, give them a suspect. And so that's when they set Clint up. So, honey, it's about to go down. So that's how the first episode went. Like I said, it was just basically giving us the breakdown and setting up the season. We see who the villains are going to be. We see that there's going to be a couple of little side stories here and there. But that's pretty much how the whole thing went down. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.